Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. It is Friday afternoon, it's my birthday tomorrow, 36 tomorrow. Give me a second. See if that makes a difference. That's a little bit better, it's not quite as echoey. I don't know why it's so echoey. Do you know what it is? I think it's because all my wife's shit hanging behind me is going, it absorbs a little bit of the echo. Right, an exciting shave for me. I'm really looking forward to this because the products that I've used from this company before I do actually really enjoy, and I enjoy the scents. Now, I was sent a set from Dan, who owns Australian Private Reserve. Now, Dan reached out to me after my recent video whereby I used Coolabah in my second chance shave. Now, it was a bit mixed. Most of it was positive, the comments and things. There's a few people who think you just shouldn't use Australian Private Reserve stuff because of the man that owns it and operates it, because of issues he's had with other soap makers and other customers and everything. Now, the view I'm taking on it, and I'll take it with everyone, is that if I've not had a problem with it, I've not had an issue with it, and it's always worked, and I've never had any angst towards anyone or anger, for me personally, to someone else, that's for you again, Ken, if you're watching. I will review products impartially. I'm not interested in getting into the politics of how companies run and all that sort of stuff, because at the end of the day, some people just rub other people up the wrong way, some people do things the wrong way and they think it's the right way. Everyone's going to make mistakes, everyone's going to think they're doing the right thing sometimes, and it's the wrong thing. So I'm not here to judge people, I'm just here to judge products. This was sent to me, Passione. I'm not sure whether it's Passion or Passione or Passione. I think Dan has got a bit of Italian background, so it's possibly Passione, I'm not sure. Now, the labels from Australian Private Reserve, just while I'm on it, I'm not a big fan of them because they're never central. You can see more black on this side and literally no black on this side. That annoys me. I've got an issue, a psychological issue, whatever you want to call it, OCD, whatever you want to call it, I have a problem with it. And it's got to be straight. If it's not straight, I'm not happy. Now, the ingredients list for this one is this. Now, I will be honest and say I'm not 100% sure who made this soap. I don't know whether it's version 1. I'm pretty sure this would be Nick Barriga's formula, or F2 formula. The latest formula that Australian Private Reserve is using. Now, he no longer uses either of these soap because I think he is looking at partnering up with other companies like Storybook Soap Works or something over in America, and a few others, I'm not sure who. Now, everything that Dan makes is essential oil based as far as I'm aware. As far as I'm aware, there's no fragrance oils used. If there is, there's some serious dodgy shit going on, but I think it is all, let me just have a look. This is tallow based as well. It just says fragrance on it, it doesn't say essential oils, but I'm pretty sure he uses essential oils for everything. Now, the scent on this Passione, I think it's supposed to be sort of citrus fuchsia, and it smells like passion fruit, really. I get a really passion fruity vibe. Now, what I'll tell you one thing, if you've never tried or you always wanted to get and weren't able to get it, Barrister and Man, soap makers of Awesome Town, the scent on this is passion fruit. Now, this one's ever so slightly more bright and floral, whereas the soap makers of Awesome Town is very much a passion fruit scent, but they are so similar. So if you weren't able to get that and you really wanted it for the scent, Passione from Australian Private Reserve is 90% similar, I would say. I'm not sure whether this came out before or not, but this is soap makers of Awesome Town, has been out for a few years now. You can't get it anymore, but very similar scented soaps. Now, the brush. I chose the brush because I love the knot and I love the handle, but I chose it as well because it matches the set. And it's my Back Down Raw brush with my 28mm rhodium knot. I've combed this out, I've washed it. I lost half a hair, I think it snapped as I pulled the first comb through. And there it is. What a beautiful brush it is. It really is. 28mm. Absolute luxury here. Silver tip badger. It has got treated tips on it, they're very soft, they are splitting, they are gelling. It doesn't gel quite as much, I wouldn't say it's super gel tips, but you can see where it's all clumping on each little sort of section. Just a beautifully made knot. Now, the soap is a little bit messy in the tub. Doesn't bother me, it would probably bother some people. You can always mush it down, but I would have preferred it to be a little bit more even all the way through, because you get water and soap suds all down the side there, that cave. But I'm going to get stuck in. I'm just going to wet the tips again, flick most of the excess out, and straight into the soap. Now you could scoop a bit out, put it in a bowl and bowl lather, you could do it however you want, but this is the way I lather. I always lather in the tub. I was going to soak it, but because of that big gap down the side I decided not to. I don't really want to get too much water underneath the soap because then it can lift off and start causing you a few issues. Well, the scent's definitely coming out. Now the scent strength on this, when I initially opened it, it smelled around about a 5 or a 6, but that was, I think, because the heat in transit from over east and other bits. I would put it round about a 4 out of 10 from the tub. It's definitely up at a 5 or a 6 now, which for me is good because Australian, yeah, like that. I lost one of them for a while. There you go, that's it. Now that's actually a bit short, that must have snapped off. It could be an aftermath of the combing out that I did. I only just did it a couple of days back, so get a great load in this. I'm not going to mess about with it. I'm going to make a cracking lather. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to take my time and enjoy it for what it is. Is that another 5? Bloody is, look at that. Another one, 2. That looks like it's sort of snapped off as well. A little short here. Right, the brush is loaded. Don't worry about losing a few hairs here and there. Badger knots generally lose hairs through the whole life cycle of the brush. It's when you're losing sort of 5, 10, 15 and 20 per shave you've got to start worrying. Like I say, I've just cleaned this out, brushed it and groomed it and all that sort of thing. Right, I'm just going to fill the sink up just a little bit more and wet my face. And then I'm going to try and scoop out as much of this as I can, so you can see that big hole down the side held all that soap. Is it just me, or is my screen flickering? That looks real strange. That looks very strange. Now I do actually have some new lighting in front of me. I don't know whether you'll notice, you probably won't. I notice. I've got some white LED lights now, just to really sort of brighten up the scene, you know, make this face look glorious. Right, I am going to try and rinse this soap out now. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to rinse it out now. Right, I found another issue. This isn't major. It's not great either. I think it's an issue. It might not be. Maybe it just feels like it's going to be an issue. Right, it's a bit of a pain in the ass to rinse out because of all the soap and the way it's in there, but that's okay. I can survive with that. Look, I showed you the ingredients before. Now, obviously, I lather or load from the tub with every soap. That isn't waterproof. It's just absorbed all the water. That over time will just crumble away into nothing. So just something to bear in mind. The top label is definitely waterproof. The bottom label isn't. Right, let's get to loading and lathering. Not loading, just let's get to lathering. Now if this is F2 from Nick Barriga, which I believe it is, then from what I've heard it's an excellent soap base and I've got nothing to worry about. Other than the fact that I might react to it. But just dip the tips. Paint some water in. Tastes pretty nice as well. Now I don't think there's any menthol in here. Let me just check on this soaking wet label. No, there is no menthol. This is going to take a while, this lather, because it needs a lot of water. So bear with me if you do not want to watch me lather for 10 minutes. By all means skip along. An Australian Private Reserve have been around for a while. They've been around pretty much, I think, before I actually started my wet shaving journey in 2016. I didn't know much about them back then. I will say they are quite expensive in comparison to other soap makers. Now I don't know whether that's because of the quality of essential oils he uses, but I also know that the quality of essential oils that are used by Face Fat are high quality essential oils, and expensive, yet his soaps are around about $10 cheaper, I think, than Australian Private Reserve. And Craig Stanley makes a vegetal base, which is excellent. I don't know whether he has any plans to move back into tallow bases again. I was very lucky, I think, in the beginning. I'm pretty sure I tried a tallow base that he sent me. Now, I reacted to it because the pH of the soap just wasn't quite right, I think, from memory. And he was struggling to get it right. But the performance of it was exceptional. It was exquisite. Now, he's done an exceptional job with his vegetal base as well, but it's just to let you know that he did actually have, and from memory, my memory's not great, but he did have a tallow base. And it was great. Just reacted to my sensitive skin. Probably great for everyone else's skin. I can tell you right now, this soap is going to take a lot of water. A lot of water. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray the brush now. And just start dropping in. Now, as you can see, I'm not losing any hairs now. Well, I hope you can see. That's definitely got a flicker, I think. I hope it's just my screen and it's not actually in the recording. It could be the fact that it's just really bright white light and the camera's struggling with it. It'll probably make me look really pasty and unhealthy. We also had a bit of a scare this week with the coronavirus in this house. One of my wife's colleagues, work colleagues, travelled to Bali and came back and developed flu-like symptoms. Was quite ill, and it turned out that it wasn't coronavirus, thankfully. So we were sort of quarantined for 3 days this week. And when the results came out, it was all good, thankfully. So we've got a clean bill of health again. Well, I say clean, but close enough. I did have my gym session today with my physio, as I'm still working back towards full fitness for work. I'm still having issues with my wrist. My arm has completely healed. There's another here. My arm's completely healed, but my wrist is the issue now. But I'm not super bothered about that. I think I'll get through it eventually. It's just going to take some time. It might be something I'll never get rid of, and I might just have to live with it and learn to deal with the pain and how it goes. I've had an x-ray. The x-ray came back good. All the bones are all aligned after my broken arm healed, and everything looks good. It's just who knows, I'm not quite sure yet. I've got an ultrasound booked in for the 19th of this month to have a little look at something other than the bones or the muscles and things like that, see if there's anything else happening. If that doesn't reveal anything, we'll have a look at an MRI scan. If that doesn't reveal anything, then I know it's most likely something I'm not going to be able to get rid of. If it's not causing me any issues in terms of degrading my bones or giving me any torn muscles or strained ligaments, then I'll take it from there. What do you reckon? It's pretty good, isn't it? So for those guys out there who just will not entertain Australian Private Reserve but watch my channel, I hope you can understand my sort of viewpoint on it. It's not I'm looking at it more like it's almost like politics, you know. There's always going to be someone that doesn't like you, there's always going to be someone that does. You can't please everyone. Your methods and ways of doing things and your ways of speaking to people, some people don't mind, some people will not like it. Sometimes you just can't win. But I'm going to, if they haven't done any wrong to me, I don't see why the product can't be my den and reviewed unconditionally, you know, as a product itself. I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of what I've read and what I've heard and what people say to me, because it's all hearsay to me. I'm not directly involved as far as I'm concerned. It's you know, I can't walk into a courtroom and start saying stuff unless I was directly involved in it, because it'd be classed as hearsay and it's of absolutely no use to the courts. Well, this is a fantastic lather. The brush is absolutely chock-a-block. There is another here. That's 4 from one shave. Unusual. I'm not going to get upset about it because I haven't really lost many from this brush, to be honest. Right, the Ferry Artist Club, the AC, not the DX, which actually looks really nice. It looks far better built than this, it looks well finished, but this is a cracking razor. Thanks to Craig Stanley for gifting me it when he sent me it down to try. He sent me some blades as well to keep it just top bloke. Right, and here we go. Just the first pass with this razor today. Now, I don't know whether you guys watch wet shaving and stuff, WHET shaving and stuff. Frank Stromberg is on there. I didn't know he had a channel. I've heard a lot about Frank. His name gets bandied about a lot on YouTube and on Facebook. And I am now a subscriber, very recent subscriber, but I enjoy his content. He's quite a funny guy. He likes to take the piss out of Matthew Lindholm, who I don't know who that is, but he takes the piss out of him. It's quite funny. Now, I'm still not brilliant with this shave, but I will say it's a very smooth shave. I don't really have many issues with it at all. I've got 2 days growth and it just peels through the hair. As it is with all straight razors and things where you've basically just got an open blade, you have to be that little bit more careful that you've got to sort of be better with your touch and certainly better with your angles. I'm still not brilliant at it, but I'm getting there. I'm better than I was, way better than I was. Right. Residual slickness is excellent. It's got that nice sticky barrier. God, hot water in my tap is absolutely roasting. There's a nice barrier stuck to the skin, which I like. That's what I look for. Like I say, not so much for face shaves, more for head shaves. Really nice scent, but to be fair, it just smells like soap makers of Awesome Town. Now, Dan contacted me and said that he reckoned I would love this scent, and I do, because I love the scent of soap makers of Awesome Town. Now, if you're commenting and subscribing to if you're commenting on the videos and you're not getting replies, don't panic. If you've asked me a question, I will answer the question. I'm just not getting to them as often as I used to through choice. I was finding, and still find sometimes, that it takes over, because at times I've got sort of anywhere between 50 and 200 to get through, and that's a lot. So I do my best to get to them as soon as I can, but sometimes it takes me a week or so, sometimes longer. Right, the carve, Christopher Bradley razor, aluminium. You'll probably know that the titanium has been made. Jack from the Virtual Groom Room has used it. I'm sure his video comes out today, so I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for that. I think, let me double check, I'm pretty sure I'm back to the B plate. No, I'm not, I've still got the C plate in here. I've got the same Gillette Ruby blade, which, believe it or not, is the last Gillette Ruby blade that I own. So I'm going to cherish it and use it well. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Just flicked a big glob of water in my eye. I just hope this note is really slick. It actually has a nice feeling slickness to it. So if this is next base, then you did a cracking job, mate. We'll see what the post shave's like, but I've got a feeling it's going to be lovely. A little bit thinner this time, still loads of soap in the brush, but I don't need a thick lather on this pass. In terms of fougere, it's not a typical fougere. I don't know what a typical fougere is. A fougere is what the person that makes it thinks it is. But what I will say is it's a lovely, bright, slightly floral, very passion fruity, delicate scent that works very, very well. Now, it'll be interesting, obviously, I do have the post-shave splash, another product, and then I've got some EDT, a sample of the EDT as well. I haven't tried Australian Private Reserve EDT before. I don't know how good it is, what the longevity is like on it. I don't know whether this is a sort of scent that will work well on a bloke, or work well on me at least. Definitely, I get it's not too bad today. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one there. 6 weepers. I definitely get more weepers with the C plate now because I'm not using it very often. So it still feels beautiful and smooth. But of course the blade exposure and the blade gap are more than what the B plate offers. So you are going to experience a bit more if you don't watch what you're doing. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the splash now, rinse my brush out, and then let the splash settle in, and then use the next product and the next product. It might be too much for my skin, but we shall see. Passione post-shave splash from Australian Private Reserve. Now the scent on this is really, really nice. It is still very fruity. It's not, I would say it's a little bit more obviously intense than what the silk is. And it's definitely got a little bit more of a cologne type scent to it than the soap. The soap's quite fruity and citrusy and fresh. This is still fresh, but a little bit more cologne smelly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 splashes of that because. There is alcohol in here. Oh, that scent is superb. Menthol. Whew. Beautiful. Now it's quite, I do find Australian Private Reserve splashes to be quite tacky. They do have a lot of oils and things in them, I think. So they don't just absorb straight away, it's not like that. So they do, if you put too much on, it's too oily. I mean, you can see all this stuff floating in the bottom there. I don't actually know what that is. Has it got any? It's, I don't know. God, that menthol. I love the menthol. Brilliant. Right, I'm going to rinse my brush out before I move on to the next product. How long is this video? Far too long. If you've got this far and you've watched it all, thank you very much. If you've skipped to here, there's still loads to go. So you might as well just turn it off and try someone else. Someone did comment, video too long, not interested. One of my latest videos, it was long, but I don't expect people to watch all the videos. Very, very rarely I watch a full 20 or 30 minute video of someone shaving. I generally skip bits and things. Hopefully not missing too much of the content that's relevant or that I want to hear, or missing comments about things that I would like to hear. Try and listen to as much as I can and absorb as much as I can. Just giving us a real good rinse out here. Just giving the knot a squeeze. I know there's hardly any soap left, if any, in the base of the knot. So I know now when I towel dry it, dry those tips, it's going to be pretty much perfect. God, that menthol, superb. The scent is really nice. It's certainly not a gentlemanly scent, and I think it's definitely a summer scent. You couldn't get away with this in the winter. It's far too bright and sort of sweet. Now, I like sweet gourmand scents. Maybe not the greatest thing for an aftershave, but then again, I love the Cool Water Intense, which is mandarin, coconut and amber. It's pretty much my favourite eau de parfum. It smells nothing like Cool Waters, but it's got one, do the old lick of the finger, you know, the old school, as your mum used to do. I think that's me. Well, that feels fantastic. Now, I'm going to move on to another product here, and it is AP Reserve Essentials Restoration Peptide Concentrate Serum, 30ml. Nice bottle. I actually unscrewed the thing on it and there is no straw, so I don't quite know how this works. Is it an internal bottle that it sucks up by suction? I really don't know. But I squirted a bit out earlier, it came out no problem, so I'm assuming however it works, it works. Now, solid plastic bottle. I don't know whether this is actual plastic or polypropylene. In fact, you know what? I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I think there's a little hole there, a little air hole. I think what happens is you pump it and it sucks the base inside you up and pulls it out. Now the labelling on it is very plain, black and white. There's not much really on it to say anything other than directions for use. Apply to a clean face and neck after a shave or at night. And it's got all the ingredients down there, there's loads of them. Now if you want to pick a bottle of this up, you can head over to beardandblade.com.au. They are the only stockists of Australian Private Reserve now in Australia, I believe, and it's $49.99. It's expensive. However, if it works, I'm going to use this once or twice a day, daily for 2 weeks, and give my feedback on it at the end of that. I am definitely going to use it every day. I will stop using this, which I absolutely love already, Codex. So I'm going to replace my Codex with this and give it a go. For 50 bucks, if it works, it's worth it, because these sort of things are expensive to make. They do have expensive ingredients in them. I'm reading through the ingredients of it, and I really, honestly, there's so many big massive words, I'm not sure whether any of it's good for you or not. So I'll put my hands up and say no. I'd be surprised, given how passionate Dan at Australian Private Reserve is for essential oils and doing it right and all this sort of stuff, that there wouldn't be anything in here that would be bad for your skin. But who am I to say? Someone else out there that probably has looked at it and said, this is shit, this is shit, this is shit, or whatever. Or someone's maybe went, it's all great. But I'm just going to put it on my face. You've got to die of something, aren't you, as I keep saying. 30 mils doesn't seem like much, but you only need 2. I'm only going to put 2 pumps on. So let's see if we can get that in. 1, 2. Now there is a scent to it. It's not unpleasant, but it's not pleasant. It matches very well with Passione, because I think it does have like passion fruit or something in it. I'm going to pop this, sweating a little bit, I'm going to pop this on my face. And actually, it's not too bad, it smells okay. Now I did read that it's good, it's fine to use around the eye, it's fine to use pretty much anywhere on the face and neck. Now it's dried in. There is a film left on my hand, a sort of tacky, sticky film. I'm just going to rub that off. Well, wash it off with warm water. It comes off straight away. Now, it does say, not on here, but on the instructions, there is an instructions that comes with it, that came with mine at least, that to leave it, it will be absorbed within 2 minutes. If it's not absorbed in 2 minutes, you've used too much, just reduce the dose. I might actually start just using 1 pump, because I feel that there's a lot going on my face with the 2. But we'll see how it goes. So while that is drying or absorbing, Australian Private Reserve Passione, lovely scent, cracking soap base, really good soap base, lovely and slick, easy to lather, takes a lot of water. I overloaded the brush, but that's me, I always overload, that's the way to go I think. I just enjoy making a lather, and apologies to you, those of you out there that cannot be asked watching a lather being made, but you can always skip it, there's no issues with skipping past it, is there, really? I'm sure everyone does it, I've done it myself before with people. But I enjoy watching the lather process generally, so I normally stick around and watch them. I'm just having a look to see if I've got any more loose hairs in here, which I don't think I have, but who knows. 28mm rhodium silver tip knot set in that darn rod brush handle. Absolutely stunning. It really is a stunning brush. And it now smells superb. The razors for today were the Feather Artist Club. Really enjoying this. I think, in all honesty, I prefer this over a straight. And the main reason being, there's no upkeep with it. When the blade's done, you put a new blade in. The blades last for ages. This has done I think about 15 first passes on my face and 1 sort of full shave. And it's still going strong, still feels beautifully smooth. I've got a little bit of irritation, not heaps. The Carve Christopher Bradley razor, an aluminium 3.25 inch handle, the C plate, which is 0.85 blade gap. I'm not sure the blade exposure, but you can see that there, sort of how much blade is sticking out. The gap. Just a beautifully made razor. The titanium's been made, I believe the one that they sent me has been made already as well, so I don't know when that's being sent. But there will be one coming into the den, and I can't wait, because ultimately I love the stainless, but it's a bit too heavy. I love the aluminium because it's light and I control the weight and the pressure and everything. I think the titanium is going to hit the nail on the head. I think it's going to be expensive though. That's the only downside to it. I'm very lucky to be in a position where people do send me stuff, and companies, especially Calf, send me things. Calf, as far as I'm concerned, they offer great products, probably the best products on the market that I use, that I enjoy. There's no other better DE razor that I've used than Calf, and that's not me just trying to get you go buy a Calf. 90% of people that I've recommended have loved it. So same with the leaf razor. It's the only razor in my den. I think that says a lot now. I've had some lovely razors in the den, and it's the only one that stood the test of time. Private Reserve, Passione, post-shave splash, brilliant. The menthol is just super, cracking amount of menthol, great face feel afterwards. And then I popped on some Australian Private Reserve Restoration Peptide Concentrate Serum. I don't know, I think it's, my skin feels absolutely amazing everywhere. It's even absorbed on my head there. It does feel a little bit tacky, so I think I might have used too much serum. It's maybe not great putting it on after the splash as well, which has got a lot of oils in it. And I'm just going to finish off now with a little bit of this. Probably better holding it sideways, isn't it? Yeah. Passione EDT sample, and this is 10 mils. It's a glass bottle. He's put a little bit of plumber's tape around it to stop it leaking. Let's just see what it smells like. I'm just going to spray a little. I've still got a bit. Still got aftershave in the back of my hand. I'll just give it a spritz on my neck. Whew. Wow. That's summer in a bottle. That's really nice. Doesn't smell quite so much like that splash of soap, to be honest with you. He's obviously tweaked this a little bit to match that. But that's got a real nice sort of summery, fresh, fruity scent. I'm not sure what else is in there. There's a note in that I really enjoy. I don't know what it is, I can't pick what it is. It's not the passion fruit, but it makes it smell more like a cologne, more like a fragrance, and I really enjoy that. That's lovely. Used a chunk of it already. I would certainly consider buying that. Stunning. What a cracking shave. Probably the longest video I've done in over 3 years, to be honest. 37 minutes, that's ridiculous. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions or comments, pop them down below. Obviously, understand if you don't like APR, you don't like tan, you don't want to buy it, understand that. That's your prerogative, that's what you want to do. I'm just going to use things objectively. I don't even know anymore, my head's up my arse. I'm going to use things for what they are, talk about them for what they are, and use them for what they are. And it'll be down to you, the consumer, the customer, the viewer, the subscriber, to make an informed decision on your own to purchase these products or not. That's how I'm going to look at it. And other than that, stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys for my birthday shave tomorrow when I turn 36. See you later. Cheers.